All right, guys. Tonight I have another cousin. Believe it or not, my extended family does like talking to me almost more than my direct family. So I brought my cousin on tonight, Stephen Bakewell. He's my first cousin, whereas Colin's like my third cousin or something. I forget the exact makeup, but
And I'm not a cousin at all. There we go. We all have something in common.
yeah, you're just a brother. And what happened was I was talking to Steven the other night, and we have a lot of common interests. Like we've both independently discovered the diet. We both have similar diet plans. Um, I thought that was pretty cool. Where I discovered through Ian Burlingame my new diet, eating different, removing a lot of wheat out of my diet, uh, and with going away from seed oils to natural meat oils and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool, considering our heritage is really close, and that we both discovered we had problems with that. I thought that was pretty interesting, and he also has a really nice knowledge that even blew me away about one of my favorite topics, which is firearms. Believe it or not, I've known Steven since he's probably 2 months old. Being one of the oldest cousins, I actually have bottle fed him. so, so,
Great.
Yeah.
Wow. Put that on your resume.
Good job, Cody.
Yeah, there you go. Check mark.
I'm gonna have to talk to my mother after this.
I was supervised.
Probably
carefully.
Not.
And I also bottle fed Sammy, your younger sister. So, yeah. So I've known you pretty much your whole life. We've had some ups and downs. So, or like any relationship, but I'm just very, I'm very impressed by the man you've become, and it just your dad would be proud. You're one of my biggest champions. I talk to your dad at least twice a week for probably 5 years while I was on the road. So me and him are really close. Really, oh yeah. So it tore me up when he passed away. What is that? I know we don't cuss on this podcast normally, but fuck cancer. So
yeah, no kidding.
But I'm just really proud of what my cousin Steven has done. He has a beautiful family. He was able to be like me and convince a woman to marry him. That's way above his pay grade. So, but go ahead and introduce yourself, Steven. I've already gushed a lot. So,
yeah. So, like Cody said, my name's Steve. I'm his cousin. On and off relationship throughout the 35 years I've been alive. But yeah, I appreciate you guys inviting me on the podcast. And not sure what all the topics we're going to get into, but I think it's going to be fun.
Guns is going to be one of them.
Have a wealth of knowledge. So, yeah.
Firearms.
Yeah. I'm an open book. So,
you've been a cop for what, 10 years now? 11 years?
11 years, going on 12 here. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell him a little bit about your background. What it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, back in high school, I joined a program, an Explore program with the local sheriff's department, and really drew my attention to law enforcement. So I graduated high school, and my dad, he gave me two options. He said, you either go to school or you get a job and pay me rent. Well, I wasn't one from school. I'm a D average student at best, so I wasn't going to college, and I wasn't going to flip burgers. No offense to anybody who flips burgers, but that wasn't the choice I was going to make. So I surprised everyone. I joined the Army. So joined the Army 4 years because, in California, you can't be a cop until you're 21. And I was 18 at the time, 19. So I did my 4 years in the military, went overseas twice, one combat, one non-combat. So I was in Korea and then Afghanistan after that. I got out of the military in just started applying to different departments. And fortunately for me, I got hired by the Los Angeles Police Department. I was there from 2014 to I left in, I want to say it was 2023. I
wow.
transferred to another department that focuses on narcotics. But while I was with LAPD, I had the privilege of working patrol, and then I got picked up and I worked a gang unit for my last 4 years I was there, which was really interesting. But it gets old fast. And then transferred to this new department I work for now, got promoted about a year ago to a sergeant. So I supervise 7 investigators who do narcotics related investigations. That's it in a nutshell.
Well, the cool thing is you're also a certified licensed drone pilot, so that's pretty cool.
I am. Yeah, that came about in this new agency I work for. We saw a need for having drones. Drones are very beneficial in law enforcement when used the right way. But like anything in the government, you got to have a license and you got to pay a fee if you want to do it. So I put myself through an online course. Went and took the FAA Part 107 test and passed, surprisingly, because there's a lot of questions on there that don't pertain to drones, like airspaces and stuff like that, that you're not flying a drone at 10,000 feet. So I don't really care what the airspace is, but and weather and stuff like that, that doesn't really apply to drones, but I guess it's good to know. So yeah, passed that test, got my Part 107, so I could, officially fly for the course of my employment, which is interesting. What I found out about that is, if you're a recreational drone user, you don't need a license. You can just, fly it. But if you're getting paid to fly the drone in any capacity, you have to have a license.
California rules. So nice.
No, that's FAA.
That's
Oh,
FAA,
really?
that's federal. Yeah.
Gee, I didn't know that.
I'll just put this over here then.
I know some other people that did it, and they were doing roof surveys, making some money off of it, and didn't go through the license.
It's important to know what you're doing because I think it was the Palisades fire in LA last year at some amateur dronist flew his drone into one of the firefighting airplanes.
Grounded the aircraft.
Punctured the wing, and they found the guy because his drone was still in the plane, so they were able to pull it out and see who it belonged to.
That'd be a scary time coming.
Should have paid more attention to the whole flight pattern thing.
Yeah, I mean, you probably shouldn't fly your drone if there's a wildfire going on. Right?
Yeah, no, I'm joking. Obviously, it's
Yeah, that's not good.
Well,
so I got a question for you. Just considering, what is your impression of that drone incursion that happened down at where you used to live?
Oh, down in El Paso?
Yeah, you lived at that gated community over there, right?
Yeah. Well, if it wasn't for that gated community, that town would shrivel up and blow away. But
yeah, he lived on Fort Bliss.
I don't know too many details about that, but I know there's some counter technology to drones, so I'm sure the military, or Homeland Security, or whoever handled that. But it is. I mean, you're seeing it in the Ukraine war and all these other wars that drones that's the new technology of this day and age. So it's something to be paying attention to. The prisons. I've heard stories of the prisons getting narcotics delivered into them with drones.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, they're sneaky tool. If you get the small ones, radars can't pick them up.
Like that one.
Yeah, like that one. What is that? The Nano?
Yeah, it's the Nano.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have payload level, so you can't really attach anything. Yet
the other one,
Army actually built out their own tank that has anti-drone technology.
The new Abrams. Yeah.
Last week, I think it was. Showcased it.
The new Abrams, because of the drone activity, has removed all of the, from what I was reading, has moved all of the crew into the main body of the tank and removed
In
all the
front.
crew out. Yeah. And
Yep.
there is no crew members in the
Turret.
turret, and it's an auto loading cannon now. So all three crew, and now it's a crew of 3, and they're all in the body of the tank because
Jeez.
they saw how the Abrams did against the Russians. I think they sent 30 over, and 20 of them have been demobilized because of them dropping munitions in through the hatches of the Abrams.
That'll do
So
it.
yeah.
It's kind of a genius way to do it though, because they're so slow moving. All the technology we really have is meant for missiles and
World
hypersonic
War
missiles
II.
or whatever. But you put a drone and you fly it at I don't know how fast those things are going. 50, 80 miles an hour, and you just hear the buzz, and you're like, "What's that?" Boom.
They have some
Well,
ammunition connected to it. They can either drop it from there or they just nosedive right into something. And they can set it up so
Yeah.
that they can be doing a pattern looking for heat signatures or something else like that too. So the drone technology has just exploded.
And I'm sure
Thank
there's
you, Ukraine.
some AI technology in there to
Oh yeah,
self-identify targets, so
lots of it.
takes away the manpower as well.
And then Iran had a ship, at least one ship, that was just loaded down with drones.
oh yeah,
That's all it did.
they took a cargo ship or a tanker or something like that and converted it over to a drone aircraft carrier. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
The what was I going to say? Man, I got on it. Damn. So I don't know. Oh yeah, so I was going to say the thing that's interesting is I was reading an article about 10 years ago in Army Times where they were talking about getting rid of the Benelli shotgun because they didn't see any use for it in frontline combat. And after the beginning of the Ukraine war, now they're bringing all the shotguns back because they say it's the most effective way to take out a drone. And they're developing special shotgun shells just for drone activity. And it's like every time they try to get rid of that thing, they have a reason to bring it back. So that's pretty cool.
It's a good round.
Yeah. Multi-purpose
It's a good
tool.
gun.
It's expensive too. This is well worth it.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah. I looked at them and then walked away.
I don't think they're using skeet guns though. So, have you seen those things? They're like $30,000 for one shotgun. That's just
It's a government contract.
Yeah.
So, when you were in the gang unit, what was that like? Did you have any special weapons, or what was the primary mission of that?
Yeah, so there's 2 sides to the gang units and LAPD. I'm talking station level. There's obviously department wide ones, but I was a station level. You have they call it GD, which is the gang enforcement detail, which is what I was part of, and it's you're uniformed. So police uniform, you drive a black and white police car. But your primary mission is you need to go out there and stop gangsters and document them, right? Document their affiliation, who they're hanging out with, and you're basically just collecting intelligence on gang members. So that way, when they do commit crimes, um, in California, there's a list of crimes. They call it Dirty 30. It's changed since in the last few years with some bills passage, but there's a list of crimes that, if committed by a gang member, can be charged with a gang enhancement, which being a member of a gang itself is not a crime, but if you commit a certain crime as a gang member, you can add an enhancement to that, which adds time to their sentence. But when it comes to court, you have to prove that they're a gang member. And so that's what our job was, is to go in court and testify as a gang expert as to why this person's a gang and why that crime committed was for the benefit of the gang. And how you do that is you got to go out there and talk to these guys. You got to document them. You got to get to know where they hang out, what their tagging's like, what they wear, what their monikers are, stuff like that. And obviously we go out there and we arrest the gangsters too that are committing crimes. But it's really a unique aspect of law enforcement. When people think of law enforcement, they generally think, oh, it's just, go in, log in your computer and go call to call. That is a function of it, working patrol, but there's so many different, how do you say this? I guess different ways you can be a police officer. You got narcotics, you got gangs, you got vice, detectives, all the different kinds of detectives, homicide, robbery, rape, crimes against children.
Oh yeah.
And so I chose the I didn't choose, but my interest was the gang side. And really my interest in that is because you work in LA, the gangs are what really affect the quality of life of the people that live there. And if I can have a part in trying to at least minimize that as much as I can, that's what I was interested in.
Okay.
We also had some side duties. You asked about specialized weapons. We typically serve the warrants for the station. So they'll come to us and ask for assistance in serving search warrants, whether it be for robberies or stuff like that. So we do have a little bit of a higher level of tactical experience than like the average patrol copper.
But not like up in the SWAT.
No, not up in the SWAT. We'll go and we'll get some training from SWAT, but we're not at that level with SWAT. Especially LAPD SWAT, they're the most elite in the country, I would say, as far as the SWAT team goes. And
well, they were the first. Yeah,
they were the first, and they are very good at what they do. I've had the opportunity to train with them a bunch, and they are very good at what they do.
we've actually out here at the Albuquerque Range, we've had LAPD SWAT come out here and do some competitions, and they're pretty badass. They're pretty good shots. I mean, the funnest thing we used to do, I was part of this group for like a year or so. It's called SAS, Single Action Shooter Society. And we would bring like, it's all like single shot revolvers and rifles and pump shotguns. It was actually not as entertaining as I thought it would be, but we would do cowboys and cops.
He got bored. That's what he said.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was really boring. But the one thing that they had this one side gig called The Wild Bunch. So there's a movie called The Wild Bunch, and it was kind of like a Western that took place during the, right around Pancho Villa coming into New Mexico and stuff. So they had like modern 1911s and they had like a modern shotgun. And we did cowboys versus cops, and that one was pretty cool.
Nice.
There's a lot of cops aren't very good shots.
That is true. That is true. I teach firearms now with where I work, and it's a struggle sometimes. It's a struggle.
Yeah. So Colin,
yeah, I'm one of those guys that is not so good at hitting my targets. Cody and I were out at his house. No, we went out to the gun range down there, and we're trying to sight in a rifle I have. I think it was the 5.56.
No, don't call it a rifle. It's a pistol.
Oh. Anyways, I was shooting that and could not get it brought in, and so I was like, all right. Took it to the shop, and they bore sighted it. It's like, there's something wrong. I'm not sure what it is, but it's probably the user. I was like, yeah. But I found out that my son's got great eyesight, though. This guy, Cody, was sitting there with his binocular and looking down range, and this guy was like, my son was like, you're to the left. You're low. I was like, I'd love to have eyes like that, but I'm not 17.
It's those young eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. And he knows everything.
Man, I used to be able to see all the little details on the dollar bill without a magnifier, like and now I have to wear glasses because of these cell phones have screwed up my vision. So
I'm the same way. I got prescriptions 2 years ago for readers. So
yeah,
I'm going downhill.
I got me the bifocals.
So when Trump gets his $100 bill printed through, I would like to read that without my my glasses on because I don't need them, and I'm close to 50.
Nice.
Yeah, my sister doesn't like that joke either.
You never know if he will actually
happen,
do it.
So
Hey, Both my parents have it. They have both the distance and the up close. And I've had distance since I was in high school.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
eyesight.
actually- well-
I was like, what are you talking about? Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. I was like lost there too. I thought we were talking about $100.
sprinting all of a sudden. I was like, what the? Okay. All right. Interesting.
Yep.
Oh no, I think Trump could do that. I could see him being shallow enough to put himself on the $100 bill.
Or put his signature on. I think that's what he's actually doing.
They're actually going to do that. I don't think they're going to reprint. Like it'll still be Benjamin Franklin. He's not that stupid. He's not going to put his face on the $100 bill, but he'll put his name on it.
Yeah.
So
the 250th anniversary.
He did put his name on the Kennedy Center. That was impressive.
Papa Trump.
Yeah. Did you see that plane that was? Did you see that plane that was flying around? They had one flying around here. I don't know. Arno. They said he ain't a king. He's your daddy. Flying over the No Kings rally or something like
on
that.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw that. I saw a news article about that in LA. They were flying it over the LA ones.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. He's not a king. He's your daddy.
So it said something to that effect. Yeah.
That's like, dude.
Trolling them big time. I'm like, and I've seen a bunch of pictures of, what these rallies are about and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I just shake my head and just click on something that's important. Like the next piece of email.
Well, let's see if I get this up. Oh no, I can't. But I think your mom actually, or somehow, she sent me a picture that said Trump has done more to get pregnant fat women out of the house than Jenny Craig has ever thought of. Something like that.
My mom sent that.
Yeah.
His face is like, what?
Yeah.
Cut her internet off.
Oh yeah, she lives there.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Change up the Wi-Fi password.
Yeah. President Trump has gotten more fat women out walking than Jenny Craig ever did, is what it says. Your mom is very she's a chicken lady too, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we had to dispatch a rooster last night, so
nice.
In the sense that you ate him?
No, he was he was an early bird, 4 a.m.
Oh, better.
So he wasn't taking his talons after you and your family and stuff. It's 4 a.m. is
nice.
Too early.
Yes.
Well, you warned him.
Neighbors too.
The only thing
rooster too. He's a cool little rooster. He's like a mini. I don't know. He's probably like that big, little mini rooster.
Yeah.
Friendly. Didn't try to bite or scratch or nothing. And
man, I've never met a rooster that way.
Come over to my parents' house.
Yeah,
we've had a few that we've had to. I had one that went after my kids, and that was his last day. This one I felt a little bad about because he's pretty nice, but he couldn't sleep in, so.
That's fine. You're fine. Chickens die every day.
Do you know what's worse? There's something worse.
It's not the killing. You're supposed to eat it. It's it's kind of a tough bird.
He was a little older though.
Oh.
A little older, so.
Yeah, you can stick him in a stew pot and let him cook, simmer for like a couple days.
Make a nice stew out of him,
yeah.
The problem with that
is
not
a lot of meat on him. He was a mini one, not a lot of meat.
Fatten them up first.
Well, having had to slaughter chickens, it's not that easy. You have to put them in this cone and flip them upside down, so when they you can drain them when you kill them at first to keep them from.
That's not what my grandparents did.
Oh,
They
really?
had 2 nails in a stump, and they just took it right there and let it drain itself.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you
Yeah.
gotta.
Ooh,
Yeah,
tasted
I
good.
learned from the first one. You gotta hold the body though after, because the last one ran around the yard for a little while. So we did eat that one. The first one we ate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tasty?
A little tough, but you know.
Oh.
What's that reminds me, your grandma Bakewell said that when she was a kid out there in North Carolina, uh or yeah, it was North Carolina, I think she said she was at. Uh, they used to raise rabbits because they had four she had 4 siblings, and that way guarantee everyone got a leg instead of chickens only have 2.
Mhm. And they
Because
multiply faster.
Bet they do.
yeah.
Yeah. We had 2 bunnies in our house, or wasn't in our house, it was outside. And man, they put out babies big time. Yeah. And they also, the
Yeah, they
male
do.
sprays. I was like, I didn't know that. But marks their territory. That
Mm.
stuff stinks. Yeah. Learned a lot about bunnies, rabbits. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty good to eat from what I was told. Yeah.
Tastes
Never
like
been down
chicken.
that line. Everything tastes
It's
like chicken.
I
Can't
don't
really
know.
say on that rabbit.
Alligator don't taste like chicken.
No, it doesn't.
No. So, Colin, what do you've been quiet. This is the longest I've ever seen Colin
I'm
quiet.
sorry. I'm trying to think of something, but I'm really bad at small talk. My brain just has been ruined. I'm just
So
watching.
it's new in California and their laws that have been making things difficult.
Oh man, that's a loaded question.
It's kind of the problem I have. I don't know a question to ask you that isn't loaded. I'm really racking my brain.
And then there goes me. Let's just roll one right out there.
No, that's a
So-
good tester. Go. Sorry.
So I think California is real. I mean, this is all my opinion, obviously, but when they passed Prop 47, I don't know, what is it, 10 years ago at this point, maybe longer, which was essentially the lowering or decriminalizing drugs and other crimes such as shoplifting, stuff like that. You know, lower level crimes, but essentially decriminalizing them. I think has been a huge impact on public safety in California. And I say that mostly from the narcotics standpoint is when they rolled that bill out, or that proposition rather, it kind of took any drug possession from a felony to a misdemeanor. Now, I personally don't have a problem with that. I've dealt with many drug addicts, and I don't think, if somebody's addicted to meth or heroin or whatever, needs to spend 10 years in prison. They need help. They need help. That's what they need. The problem with that bill is there was no way to get them help. It just took that crime from a felony to a misdemeanor, and they were just in and out, in and out. And when they would go to court, essentially it's like you need counseling or therapy or whatever. You need rehab. Good luck, and
Yeah.
sent them back out. I think that's been the biggest problem, because all these other issues that they stem from drug addiction mostly, the shoplifting, all that stuff. These people get drug addicted and they're just going in to steal food and whatever else they need, laundry soap to sell, to buy drugs, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure what the bill was, but there's been a bill passed that kind of took back some of the shoplifting in a sense. So it used to be just, if you stole less than $950 worth of product, it's a misdemeanor and you get some probation or whatever. And you can do that as many times as you want, as long as you don't steal over 950, it's not a felony. So now they've, I don't know if it's in effect yet, but there's been talk about it, that they're taking that back now. If, you're shoplifting multiple times, you can be charged with the felony. And then it also roped in those, those mobs that rob jewelry stores and
Oh,
stuff like
yeah.
that. yeah, I kind of roped into that in these theft circles and stuff like that to try to up the, from a misdemeanor to a felony, try to discourage this. And I'll say it's been a little effective. You see less of it, but you still see it. Um, it's a tough environment because you need to balance, the interest of like somebody that's addicted to drugs, but you also need to balance public safety with it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not a politician. I don't know how you do that. I mean, my opinion would be you need court ordered rehab. If you don't go to the rehab, then you're going to prison, right? That's your option. Go to rehab, get clean, or go to prison.
Hmm.
That might
Oh,
be too
okay.
common sense.
And then have more rehab places.
More
Well-
rehab places. A lot of these rehab places are just cash cows. I don't want to classify it the same as like the Somali fraud going in Minnesota, but it just seems like they're just, if you claim you're a patient there, they get money from the government. And
Oh,
are they really
yeah.
providing services kind of stuff? I don't
Or
know.
they just
Maybe it's something that should be looked into. I don't know. But there just needs to be some more enforcement on making sure these people go to rehab and get the help they need.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure most of America agrees that if you're addicted to meth, you shouldn't spend 5 years in prison just because you're addicted to meth. But we have to have an outlet for them to get clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sad thing is most of the way that people got clean was in prison, and they would go in there for a certain period of time and they would detox them. I remember when my mom worked at Folsom. Not Folsom. My dad worked. It wasn't my mom. It was my dad worked at CMF, California Medical Facility, and he would talk about them coming in and detoxing them if they were seriously drug addicted. So
Yeah, but I see the issue with that is that might work for some people, but then you get other people that, they, I've seen literally everybody from lawyers to car salesman hooked on drugs. And it's like, okay, this person got into this habit and, I've never smoked meth. I never will, but I've talked to a lot of people that have, and it's such a highly addictive substance that just trying it one time, they'll tell you like, I never want to go without it. Like I
Yeah.
will never get off this, And so if they're not really into that lifestyle of typical people that go to prison, and now you're putting them in prison for 3 or 4 years, you could be cultivating that criminal behavior into them instead of just getting them off the drugs,
Yeah. And they have to have like a motivation to get off drugs. If they
They
don't,
do.
they just keep going back every
Well,
time.
that's the other problem with it too, is when you decriminalize drugs, it's so readily available in the streets that, okay, you detox them for 6 months and then they go back out and they get that itch again, and then, go to any
Mhm.
street corner and buy some meth or heroin or fentanyl, whatever you're addicted to. And now you're right back to where you started. And that whole 6 months was for nothing. So there has to be that want, like you said, like they have to
Yeah.
have that some catalyst in their life that's like, I need to get clean.
I've been
And there
talking
are
to
just some
quite a few
people,
people like that.
and there's just some people that won't get off of it. I've talked
No.
to numerous people that are like, they call it vitamin M. I got to have it. I'm going to have it for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
And they don't care. They got sores all over them. They got no teeth. They haven't showered in a month. They don't care as long as they, can get that drug.
Yeah.
It's really sad, and I don't know the solution to it, but I think we tried the prison route and it didn't work. We tried the, hey, just everybody do you. That doesn't work because that dries up crime. I mean, there's a direct relation to that. So I don't know what the solution is, but what we're doing is not working.
I mean, the only countries in the world that don't have this problem, like almost, I mean, they just like, I don't know. Trump said it. He's like, yeah, Xi, like, how do you handle your drug problem? He's like, what drug problem? Or no, he said, and then he goes, quick trial, and then just, take care. And then you just keep it that. I mean, because I've been to cities where you just don't have what we have here. It's just completely in places around the world. And it's just not, it's very different. And A lot of his culture. How much of it do you think is the interfacing? Because I mean, you're always going to have the local guy, growing weed. I mean, it's not impossible. A meth lab is tough, but it's obviously doable. It's probably
Yeah.
going to be really low grade stuff, obviously, without having proper equipment and access to good uh, subcomponents. But how effective would it be at getting them? Because right now it's just about getting base numbers down. Like if this extra, they're doing a lot of work in the Pacific and they're trying to cut off drug routes and stuff like that from mass and then also and more importantly, they're using fintech to track financial transactions between all these guys, like really hardcore now. So
And blowing up their boats.
they're trying to find their money and isolate it and cut all that off. I mean, if there's a massive enterprise behind it, I would imagine that has something to do with our problem.
Yeah, financial gain. I mean, if we're going outside the scope of just street level users and you're going to the suppliers, there's definitely a financial
That's my
incentive.
point, though. Don't you think that going
Yeah.
after the suppliers is kind of the first order of operations here? Because you can target them and you don't have to take them to trial. You can just kill them, especially if they're related to the cartel. So, or take away their money. You could freeze their accounts and go out. I mean, they know where all the families of these people are. They know what them. A lot of them are here. They live in the States. So,
Yeah, I think I think the problem needs to be attacked from several angles. You need to have that resources to get people off, but then you also need to go to the head of the snake, if you will, and you need to cut it off of how it's getting in. I don't have statistics, but I firmly believe that a lot of it does come from outside this country. A lot of the harder drugs. I mean, there's meth labs and there's whatever. What's a new one we're seeing? DMT, which is psychedelic labs. You're seeing a lot of those now. You can make stuff here, but you got to get those chemicals from somewhere. It's just not like it's not like the old school meth where you just go buy a bunch of Sudafed from Walgreens, right? Because all that stuff's
not
regulated
DMT.
now.
DMT you can grow in a shed with mushrooms, or like not mushrooms, but whatever they use. I don't know what it is, but
Some kind of shroom.
it's something that's replicatable and you can grow it, basically, like the subcomponents.
Well, I mean that's another issue too is the mushrooms, and then you have which luckily the governor of California vetoed that, but they were trying to legalize mushrooms here, it's another issue. I mean, there's a lot of information on a place for psychedelics when it comes to like PTSD and stuff like
Mhm.
that needs to be controlled and controlled doses and know people are getting. But the problem is when you buy these things from, a dispensary or something in California, it might say 50 milligrams of psilocybin, but how do you really know? Because who's making it? Who's monitoring? Or there's lab tests that show this batch was 50 milligrams. You could be getting 500, and then you have people on these really bad trips.
Mhm.
And then you can mess up their brain if you're taking too much.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's definitely a place for psychedelics. I think when it comes to medical, I know the VA's talking about getting into that, doing studies. But
They've been doing that
street,
for a couple of years now.
yeah, and there's a lot of success stories. If you listen to
Yeah.
like Joe Rogan or Sean Ryan, they have a lot of success stories from guys that are doing
Yeah.
ayahuasca, ibogaine, all that stuff, and they're having actual real effects.
Yeah. But if you don't have someone that's regulating it and someone
That's the
walking
problem.
with you that knows how to sees the signs of if someone's on a bad trip or something like that and is able to take them out, it's a horrible end result. I've been reading a lot about that and talking to doctors and stuff like that here in this state. And
Yeah.
it's a gateway to healing, but yet if it's abused, it's a gateway to all things bad.
I mean, it's just like if you think about cannabis, right? When they legalize cannabis, like there's definitely a medical purpose for cannabis, right?
Mhm.
Cancer, dealing with pain, stuff like that. There's also
Eating.
bad stuff related to cannabis, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, the weed that is available today is not the weed that was available in the 80s. This stuff is
3 times
highly
the
potent. I'd argue it's more than that. You can get a cannabis vape that's 90% THC,
It's turning
Whereas
people
if-
schizophrenic. like almost like I've heard people that have had friends that have literally gone insane. And
I mean, yeah, there's that aspect too. You know, it brings on anxiety. There's a lot of studies coming out now too about it, development of the brain if you smoke it at a young age. I think it was under 25 or something like that. When your brain's still developing, it can have effects on that. Um, so it's one of those things. It's like, does anybody need to go to prison for weed? Probably not, right? I mean, I've been a cop for almost 12 years. I've never been in a fight with somebody that's high on weed. Alcohol, I've been in plenty of fights with people that were drunk.
Yeah.
have
But
you?
it's like,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
No. After you, Steve.
No, so it's just one of those things, you know, where alcohol is readily available, and you know, somebody gets drunk, they want to fight.
Yeah,
It's just,
prohibition.
you know,
We beat prohibition because everybody's like, yeah, we need to drink. We're
Have,
poor. We've lost our farm. We need to drink.
yep,
do you follow Michael Yon, or do you know who he is?
I don't.
He's fairly famous war correspondent. He was all around Iraq and Afghanistan mostly. But he's done, his life's an adventure book. It's crazy. He like tracked cannibals for several years of his life, lived among them, did all kinds of crazy stuff. Anyway, and one of his specialties, or that that he focuses on, is basically modern warfare and what does he call it? What's the technical term of art for drugs? Not narcotics, like
The narco terrorism.
like hallucinogens, but no, just anything.
Psychedelics.
No, it'll come to me, maybe. I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter. The that basically it's a weapon of war, like throughout human history. Like it's constantly that's always what you do to soften up a population before collapse, or before infiltration, or before or something like that. And like he's been traveling all around East Asia, and he's seeing weed shops popping up out of nowhere. Like all of a sudden, like now you got like what happened here. Like Texas had all of a sudden overnight weed shops, just dispensaries just everywhere, just in like every corner block. There's some, and obviously it's not weed, but it's CBD, but it's got THCA and all the, it's got all the psychoactive components. And I don't know, it's probably not your line of country, but you are a vet. I mean, we did a lot of social engineering experimentation in Afghanistan, and hearts and minds and all that, to try to, how do you manipulate or get a population to go along with what you want, basically, or to minimize your threat exposure, or whatever. There's countless applications for that. PSYOPs, basically. Like,
Yeah, you know what? That's hard to say. It's hard to say because I think it's a cultural issue, right? You know, when you're talking about Afghanistan, I mean, empires have been trying to take over Afghanistan since the start of time, right?
Yeah,
Alexander the Great.
Yeah, it's a country that will never be ruled by anybody but Afghanistan, and it's designed that way. I mean, they got the caves; they're so spread out. I mean, they're living in the 1800s over there still, right? Like, there's not. I mean, obviously they have their bigger cities, but most of that country is. They got the community well, and you know the chickens are hanging outside in the bazaar for days, waiting to get sold.
and everyone's got a cell phone.
Yeah, but everybody's got a cell phone. Yeah,
Yeah,
they got 5G before us, probably.
probably.
Well,
Probably
they're
got 60.
closer
So
to
I think
China
it's
than we are. Yeah.
I think to do that, it's a cultural thing. We have to appease their culture.
for sure. I guess I'm asking about, well, like, so in American culture, we're very open and susceptible to things like, drugs or any mind altering stuff. So, I mean, we're naturally an open, adventurous, curious culture. So it doesn't, and with all veils of tradition have been pretty much stripped from us. Like, we don't really remember, the boomers are almost gone, or on their way out. They're not almost gone, but
Right.
they're on their way out. Their parents were even more hardcore, like tough, salt of the earth people than they were, and their parents before them, on and on. But now we've been softened up and weakened so deeply that we don't, if you get a whole population drunk and drugged out and they can't think straight about anything, you don't really have to worry about depth of force if you're trying to do, because warfare isn't just like lines and tanks and guys shooting at each other. It's all directions, I mean, it's really what we're talking about is state or intrastate actors trying to collapse or build their own systems or integrate old systems into their new ones or into their current ones. So like, it just seems to me that since the beginning of the United States that Europe has been wanting to carve us up and split us back off into its colonial system forever. It never wanted who would want an autonomous United States? So it's not far-fetched to think that, especially when you see all the money that's been poured into it, especially the normalization of weed or drugs in general, and all the big money and all the big name guys like Joe Rogan, for example, I'm not saying that he was paid off to do it, but he was certainly allowed, and that kind of stuff was pushed in the algorithm. It wasn't like, attacked or deterred. It was allowed. It was, kind of, and then it was kind of pushed, and all the celebrities are doing it and blah, 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 and then it's kind
Well,
of
the celebrities came out after that because, hey, Joe Rogan did it and nothing really happened to him. So
Yeah.
why don't we do it?
Yeah. He created a
Right.
permission structure for it to be okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
real quick, I found out what that Prop 36 is, how they changed the law. So what it says is, you get 2 misdemeanors for property theft. The third one is a felony.
Okay, that's what it is.
And then the other thing it did is it takes, if you're involved in a shopping lift ring, like going from store to store, before they would charge each individual store as an individual act. This time they can lump it all together and make it all one individual act done on multiple victims. And now it can get the price over $1,000. So they can also charge them with felony.
That'd be hilarious if your gang unit has to have a shopping lift division. That'd be like worse.
Actually, the highway patrol out here, they took the lead on that. They have a whole task force for those shoplifting.
Oh,
rings.
really? Wow.
Yeah, they're coming up with good stuff. They're getting warehouses full of stolen goods.
Oh
and
my
they're giving it to these
gosh.
people. Yeah.
So
They're doing a lot of
it's
good
like
stuff.
organized. So it's like seriously organized at this point. Like real
yes,
money's
it's very,
behind
very
it.
organized. Mm-hmm.
How much money
Yeah,
would you say is in that? Just in California?
Millions.
Like obviously it's
millions upon millions.
like hundreds.
What these guys are doing? Well, what these guys are doing is they'll get these rings and they'll go into these different stores. They'll go to Harbor Freight or whatever, and they'll steal these tools. It's the secondary market. You go to the swap meet or you go to something, and I can get a brand new DeWalt for $50. Where in the store it's $200, and it's 100% profit for these guys because they didn't pay anything.
Yeah.
So that's what it is, and you go to swap meet and you'll see people selling laundry detergent, all kinds of stuff for dirt cheap.
I guess I meant, is there like real organization? I mean, because that's a classic mob move. Is it's in all stupid movies where I got the truck tone, the guy wanted a suit tone. But I'm wondering, I mean, has it gotten to the level, if you're talking about warehouses full of stuff, that seems to me that requires like almost a corporate or like an actual bureaucratic structure that interfaces with a bunch of other subunits.
Oh yeah, they're very organized.
That's who do you think runs it? Is there? I mean, obviously there's not one, but
I'm not into that world, so I can't say like who's is like the Russians or the Chinese or whoever's running it. I don't know, but it definitely has the characteristics like you said. You mentioned.
I think it's the Dutch.
It's the Dutch.
Yeah,
it's the Dutch.
It's the Dutch.
It's the Canadians.
They were the first. They were the first pirates to legalize piracy. So,
in the Constitution, we can legalize piracy too. So
we can do all kinds of crazy stuff if we want to.
What is that? What do they call that?
Privateering.
Yeah,
Oh
privateering.
yeah, no, that's actually a thing. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
It
you can
is.
call up privateers. Yeah, for sure.
Well,
They tried to do that for Venezuela.
wouldn't that be cool if
No. There's like a whole
I think, we
guys-
did, I think we did act as pirates and took their oil ships.
Yeah.
you're
But it
going
was
the
like
wrong way?
regular Joe Schmo guys that going out and trying to take stuff.
It's like flip that meme around of "Look at me, I'm the captain." It's like a chatted up bro with the rays on, and he's like, "Look at me, bro, I'm the captain now. All right, like this is my shit."
Some former Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
The best part of that whole thing that was so overlooked is on the way out they bombed Chavez's grave.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought that was impressive. They just dropped a bomb on him. We're gonna get rid of this problem. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
And then switching to Riverside, California, the sheriff that went in and took all the ballots. That popped up, I think,
Mhm.
last week. And I didn't see that one coming.
Is that Riverside or San Bernardino?
It's
Riverside.
actually, it was the Riverside Sheriff, Chad Bianco. He's actually running for governor, too.
Mhm.
He's doing pretty high in the polls. I
That'd be
just read an
interesting.
article today that the attorney general successfully sued him, so he has to pause that investigation pending the court case.
I heard that they sued him, and then he got appointed a special master or something they called it
Mhm.
to make sure no one tampered with it, and then, but you know, it's weird that they would want to stop it. It's like, what are they afraid they're going to find?
don't
They
know.
will find it one way or another.
No, there was plenty. I mean, the amount of public manipulation that was done that was paid for outright on the beginning of all this was clear anyway. Yeah, no, they're absolutely stealing elections 100%. Like, it's not even a question. Why would it? I mean, you can't see anything. It's a black box. You don't get to check it. There's no auditing. It's like, okay, just trust us. All these retards up here run the government. And we just have to trust that. It's like, okay.
You know,
And
And
what my
I'll
view
just
on
go
it
back
is-
to
is-
drinking and smoking my dope. So
My view on it is whether there's cheating or not, I don't know. Like, I'm a law enforcement mind. I want to see an investigation come to fruition because there's a lot of stuff at face value looks good and it turns out to be nothing. But I mean, you would think in the sense or in the name of transparency, like, do it. Let's see.
Yeah.
Like, if there is fraud, I want to know, right?
Everybody wants to know. And
Right?
if
And
it's
there's
not,
not fraud, then good.
everybody
you boost
wants to know.
confidence in the system.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a win-win either way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
if they prove that there's no fraud, then it's good for them. If they prove that there is fraud, it's good for society. So
Yeah, it's good to know if there is fraud, and then it's also good to know that hey, the system has integrity.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah,
Our
If
government
there
has
is fraud,
integrity.
now what do we do? Paper ballots? All right, let's do
Well-
paper ballots again.
well, the
Do it the old school.
one weakness, like even if there's digital manipulation, which they're totally capable of doing, like it's embarrassingly easy to get into those things, and but that's besides the point. The main weakness they have is the voter rolls, and those because you have to select from that pool in order to commit any fraud. Theoretically, they have to be a pre-registered voter in the system. That has to be in the system. So that's like, but the only way to double check that is get those ballots and then cross check them to see if there's anyone actually there. But no one's been able to get a hold of them to do that kind of investigation. They're just blocked everywhere. So no one's allowed to do it. That would solve it like immediately. That would literally show it because you don't need to show that much, just a large degree of margin enough to show that it was systemic and that it's also happening all over the country. I mean, they're hinting at it so much. I think they're like, it's almost like they're just like waiting for the population to like beg for it. But now it's become so normalized to talk about. Remember when this first all started? It was like, you don't talk about that, like COVID, you don't talk about it.
Right.
There had to be a permission structure built first. So I think that's what's happening.
Yeah.
I hope that's what's happening, but we'll see.
But there's always stuff happening in California. Always something.
Yeah, that's
So-
interesting. Riverside. But leave it to a sheriff.
Yeah, and that's close
Yeah,
to
he's-
Mecca for Seventh Day Adventists too.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
he's
where it
running
is.
for governor as a Republican. So the last poll I checked was the two Republicans running are leading the polls. So
That's
Yeah,
good.
who's the other guy? He's like some business guy.
Steve Hilton.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's a Fox News dude.
Yeah, he's a
Damn, he could win.
correspondent or
Your
something.
sheriff could win. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also
Him and,
interesting. He filed a lawsuit about it. Like, when did this happen? Right before he announced, or right after?
Oh, he's announced a
Oh,
long time ago.
yeah, he announced a long time
Oh,
ago.
well, I mean,
I think he announced about a year ago.
so when did he seize the ballots?
This was last month, I believe.
Right before people are starting to get. So even if he probably knew that it wasn't going to work, it does shine a spotlight, and it gets everyone talking about him. Smart move. That's a
Well, my
Yeah, it
Republican.
could have been a political move, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it was they brought the ballots in from the special election they did to redistrict to allow redistricting of California. They did a constitutional amendment, but I think I was still there, but they changed the Constitution of California, have an outside board to do the districting for the senators, the U.S. senators, keep from having gerrymandering from happening. Which I still find it interesting that 80% of the senators in of the representatives of California are are Democrats when 46% of California is Republican. So it's not really an accurate representation of.
Well, that's by landmass. By population, it's overwhelmingly Democrat.
Yeah.
Because landmass, I mean, if you look in the farm areas of California, it's mostly Republican, and those are sparsely populated areas. But if you look in the major
Yeah.
metropolitan areas, San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, the coastal,
Mhm.
basically the coastal cities, it's where majority of the population is. It's all it tends to vote Democratic.
Yeah.
Or Democrat rather.
Californians were talking about splitting it. So the coastal cities would be one part, and then all the other stuff, the agriculture and stuff, would be a different part. And I was like, that's not going to be good for those cities because they're not going to get any food unless they get all their lawyers.
Have you heard anything about an oil refinery? Sorry to switch subjects, but I'm kind of curious about this. I've heard that you're down to the one now.
No, they're not down to one.
I heard as of like today.
No, that's not true.
I have been hearing talks about, I think it was either Chevron or 76. So, if you guys don't know, California has special gasoline can only be sold, or it has to meet certain requirements to be sold in California compared to the rest of the nation. And they only produce the gas that can be sold in California. I believe it's the Chevron plant. And it's not, I mean, it sounds like the media is making it out to be that, oh, they're closing because of the cost of business to do here, which might be partially true, but it's also aged out. That refinery is old and it's breaking down. And from what my understanding of it is, the Chevron goes, it's going to cost us too much to get this thing going right and to do it right.
Well,
so and then I
so
heard something about 76, the same thing.
what happened was when we were kids back in the 90s, there was 40 oil refineries in California. And now there, according to this, there are 6. There are 6
Yep.
oil refineries.
And sorry, so that didn't seem right. Go ahead, finish what you're looking at.
So the problem is,
so it's Phillips 66 and Valero is what shut down, and that's 17 to 20% of California's refining capacity. So that's okay. So yeah, it isn't just the one. I thought that sounded insane. I mean, that's the entire West Coast.
Well, the problem that they did is Gavin Newsom passed the law in order to keep the fuel, keep from having huge waves in fuel prices because they've got so few refineries there. He ordered that when they shut down for to do work on it, they have to have enough fuel on board to go through the shutdown. Well, to build those tanks are like, you're talking 6 years to get the tanks put up. You're hundreds of millions of dollars just to go through the environmental impact and all that stuff. Well, they gave them 4 years to retrofit to put these tanks in. And if they didn't do that, they were gonna fine them so much money every month for not having it. And they're like, well, we'll take a loss. Screw it. They shut it off.
So this is what I mean. Like, it's not, I hear what you mean. Like, they're aging out and stuff, but that's also happened because of conditions created, in my opinion. If the California government wanted to make money and make that a real, like, functional industry, which it would just be a money machine for them, they haven't. They've let it. This is like where I wonder how much of this is incompetence and how much of this is purposeful sabotage through administrative terrorism, basically. Like, how cognizant are these people? Are they aware of what they're doing? And like and I think they're going to nationalize the rest of them.
I think a lot of it has to do with California's stance on renewable energy, green energy. Like, oil in California is essentially the devil, right?
No, I get all that,
they
but
want everybody in Teslas. So I think any legislation that has to do with increasing oil production or benefiting oil production is viewed as negative to whoever's in office, right? So it might be, I don't think it's purposeful sabotage. I think it's more of trying to align with their voter base and not allowing these, because like you said, California, I mean, you go to Bakersfield or anywhere up Central California, there's oil pumps everywhere. You go off the coast and you see oil. Rich Trump is talking about forcing them to open again to pump oil out of the ocean.
Well, they did that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what the court says, but
here's why I would push back on that, because I hear what you're saying, that's the attitude. I live in Austin, Texas. I know what you're talking about, but they, I mean, not nearly as bad. I've been to California, so I know it's way worse there, but I know what's in the air there and it ain't good. But it's like, we're talking about like critical, like this isn't like everyone says critical infrastructure all the time. No, this is like critical infrastructure. Like, this is going to cause, especially in the middle of all this other crap going on. We're in for, like, I mean, this is going to kill, unless something changes very quickly. Like, you're looking at famine in the third world very quickly. And that's like a top, that's like the bad guys, like the WEF people are saying that, even like it's like, if you know all that on the front end, and the oil companies, they're not sparse on cash, maybe investment capital is tough to come by, fine, but they can lobby just as good as anyone else and just tell the governor or all these guys, hey, look, if you do this, you are going to create all these other cascading effects. Shove this into the back of legislation. Let's fix this. They own the media. They don't have to talk about it. Your voter base is too stupid to even know what oil really is. They think it's dinosaur juice. So just push it on through, and then we won't have to commit suicide. Like, but they don't do that, even when it's in all their interest to do it. It's like, if someone's doing something not in their best interest, I either assume they're insane, drunk, or someone's got a gun to their head, figuratively or metaphysically, or maybe literally. Who knows? But and there's a lot of foreign. Anyway, I don't know. You don't want to comment on that. That's just me going on a rant, so don't worry about it. Or you comment as much as you want, but yeah.
I think it's just, I think a lot of it, I mean, living out here, I think a lot of it, there's such a big emphasis on green energy. I mean, you going up towards Tehachapi, it's just windmills everywhere, or you drive out to Vegas on the 15 and you got vast amounts of desert just full of solar, and it's all this green energy stuff. And I mean, I think they just don't want to accept the fact that, like, oil is life for us, and we haven't found a suitable alternative to it yet. Because I mean, you can only get so much power from solar when the sun's up, and if the clouds aren't up, the wind only blows so many days but my car still needs gas, or
Mhm.
you know, whatever. These people that heat their homes on propane or whatever, they still need that stuff.
I have no doubt even
Well,
the people in the state house believe this. Like, and that's their that's their ideology. And I'll leave it at this. I especially we were just talking about elections, that certain entities have not put these people in a certain place, these useful idiots, for a time and place such as this, to cause mass mayhem and maybe cause, create cover for a certain financial collapse that's looming. But
Well, I mean, people are feeling it now because you know, I have a diesel truck. Diesel's almost $8 a gallon out here right now. So
jeez,
you know,
$5 out here.
regular gas, you're looking
Yeah.
at what did I
4?
pay the other day? I paid $6.69
I
when I
think
filled up my car the other day.
if this isn't stopped, you're going to see $8 gas. It's going to be
Oh
like
yeah,
it's going to be like England. It's
yeah.
I
We're gonna
can't
start buying it in the liters.
I don't. Yeah, that's crazy that's
Yeah.
actually possibly happening. That's why I think they're going to have to nationalize them. I don't think they have a choice.
Well, I mean, and you know, not to get too deep into politics, but Trump has to do something with the gas prices, because you look at every presidency, you could do the best thing in the world, but as soon as gas prices start going up and it hurts people's pockets, it doesn't look good for you in the polls.
Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
constant political advertisement. Those gas prices always. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, people don't like it paying $8, $9, $7 a gallon of gas. You know, Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter. You know, I mean, I guess unless you own a Tesla, then you're just worried about the price of power. But
I got a Tesla. Hey, I got a Tesla. I bought it. It's 10 years old, and 10 years, like 2016 and older, you can buy this package, and you don't have to ever pay for a charge. Yeah,
at the superchargers,
what they also don't tell you is they're freaking expensive to fix. Yeah,
oh, I bet.
yeah. Every time it
I
goes in
bet.
the shop, I'm like, is that another $3,000? Ah, but the
I got a
flip side
hybrid,
is,
so you know, I can't talk too much.
yeah, and what I
you
do
do?
for a job, I needed to get me around. Yet I know we put up stickers. We would say there's people putting stickers up during Biden's
Oh
presidency
yeah,
saying I did this for the gas prices. I'm
I'm
surprised I don't
supporting
see
that.
Trump stickers up there. I
Yeah,
did this, right? Man
yeah.
in
I
orange.
might have been the guy putting those on the pump. So just saying,
You would, Cody. You would.
Yeah.
it was fun. I'll tell you right now. You just and then this gas guy, the guy at the gas pump saw me doing it. He goes, "That's really hard to get off. I would appreciate you not doing that."
And he did it anyways.
Well, I stopped, but
Oh yeah.
At that gas station.
You called it, Steve.
at that gas, yeah, I switched to the Circle K across the street. So,
So when we come
here,
into
I got a.
firearms, we're over an hour. So when we come into firearms, is there a new firearm that you are specifically gravitating to that you think is been a new round or something else?
Yeah, so I was actually talking to Cody about this the other day. I own two staccatos, and I absolutely love those guns.
Hmm.
Um, it's probably
That's a
the best shooting gun
2011,
I've ever
right?
shot.
Well,
Yeah, it's
what
a
makes them so
2011.
good besides?
So essentially, it's a 2011 platform, and so it's exactly like a 1911, right? It's a
Okay.
single action. It's got the grip safety, thumb safety. The trigger pull is, I want to say mine's sitting at about 3.5 pounds, um, and it's a well balanced gun, so your recoil management is excellent. So your follow up shots are really good, and it holds 21 plus one.
Are you- what
It's
caliber is this?
It's a nine
it's a
millimeter.
No,
it's
okay.
it's a double stack 1911. They call it a 2011. So it's a
Mhm.
double stack, and it's really cool. The magazines stack up and then they go into one. It's a really neat. they're really nice guns. Very expensive
Yeah,
guns.
they're very pricey. That's for sure.
That's why
But
you're a
I love them. I
sergeant,
mean, you
right?
can't. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I used to be a Glock guy. I still love Glocks, but after shooting a 2011, I can't go back to a Glock. It's just the way they designed, because it's based off the 1911, right? And you know, Browning, when they made that 1911,
He was blessed by
they took
God.
every.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was. It
Yeah.
really was. I think it was a work of God. The way they designed it is the way the grip angle is. It sits naturally in your hand because you know a Glock has that exaggerated cant to it.
Yeah, it does.
And
Yeah.
they put that in there for mostly for law enforcement because they were finding law enforcement was mashing the trigger a lot, so they were trying to compensate that mash. But the 1911, 2011, it sits perfectly in your hand. It's perfectly aligned with your wrist. It's got obviously it's got a trigger bow instead of a trigger bar, so it makes that trigger press. You know, whereas say a Glock or any of your polymers, they have a trigger bar which is off to the side of the gun, right?
So
And
what
so that can
what
account.
what he's talking about is they have the trigger, and you have the trigger here, and it makes this wishbone thing that comes up and goes around. And isn't that what you're talking about? The way it
Yeah, so like a
strikes, it
Glock,
releases the firing pin. Yeah,
so a Glock has, or you know, any
striker
polymer
fire.
frame gun, they have a trigger bar, and it's off to the side of the gun. It can be either left or right. Usually they're
Yeah,
on the right side. And what that does, though, is, um, I mean, it's nuance to most people, but if you shoot a lot of guns, you can notice the difference. But as you're pulling the trigger, you can feel that force transfer to the side of the gun, and it kind of can
here
adjust
I'll
the
show
gun
you.
in your hand.
I'll show you right here.
Really?
Whereas the 1911, it has a trigger bow, and so when you pull that trigger back, it's equally distributing that pressure back.
So you have the
There
trigger
it is.
here, and goes back. So Glocks is called a striker fire. So
Mhm.
there's a plate, and it catches on the back side of that plate, and that trigger goes on to the right side. So when you pull the trigger, it pulls pressure on the side and pulls it to the right. Is what he's saying. That makes sense.
And then so with the
Yeah.
1911, 2011 is you have a bow. So when you pull that trigger, that it's going straight back. So you're not getting any of that twist in your gun as you're pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh wow. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And he did that
It's
naturally. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Uh,
John Browning is. Yeah.
So the
He has two guns that were built, and they're still in service. Uh, the 1911, obviously, and then the Ma Deuce is still rocking and rolling. So M2 machine gun, 50 cal.
they have uh, a mod 2 for the M1, the 50 cal. We got them when I was when I deployed to Afghanistan. We got them, and what it does is, so when you do a 50 cal, you put the barrel in, you have to headspace and time it. So you have to put the barrel in so far, you have to get the spacing right, then you have to time it, the trigger, and you know they give you a gauge. So it makes switching the barrels time consuming because you put the new barrel in, you got to headspace and time it, make sure it fires.
Yeah.
The mod 2 is they assign the barrels to the gun, and you get 2 barrels per gun. So you can just do a hop swap. They got a handle on them. Just pull the bolt back a little bit, pop the new one out, pop the new one, or pop the old one out, put the new one in, and you're good to go. No headspace and timing.
No, that's good efficiency right there.
Yeah.
That must have been fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
There we go. Yeah.
Uh,
I'm gonna have to
I
check
don't
that
know.
out.
I've
I'm gonna have to check out that staccato. I haven't seen that one
Yeah,
yet.
Sig got one. Sig just came out with one. It's I think they call it the 211.
Okay.
Just as good. I mean, you know, with all good things, there are downsides. You know, because there is a steel frame and the tolerances are very tight on there. You do have to make sure that thing has lube. It'll shoot dirty, it just won't shoot dry. So you have to make sure you got your oil in there. It's not like a
gotta
Glock where you can clean it every 3 years and you're good to go.
It's the version of the AK where you can stick it in oil, water, dirt, no matter what, and it'll still fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here I got a picture of it. Want to see it?
The AK or the
No,
staccato.
here, staccato.
And there we go.
It's
Oh, that's the SIGs. That's SIGs P211.
yeah. Sig with that P320, kind of got a bad rap, but that's a hell of a pistol. But, Sig makes some pretty good guns. I hate to
Oh,
see
yeah.
him get some.
Yeah, there's a lot of controversy on that SIG going off.
See, here's their magazine right here. See it, it double stacks and then single stacks at the end. It's pretty cool. Like that.
Yeah, my curiosity is how it handles. It's some people. It depends on what brand it is. They have bigger hands, and so their hands fit around it better. Other people that are smaller, they have to go with a different caliber or different gun, and it just fits better. So it's like not one fits all. Yeah, that's what I learned.
That's true. Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah,
What about red dots? Are you guys running red dots on your pistols?
no,
Not yet.
you have to be rich for that. You got to be a sergeant.
No, you can get a Holosun for a couple $100.
You mean one of these?
No, I just got it on
happens.
my AR platforms.
Okay.
I don't know
I've
nothing
been running
about
red dots on my pistols for 6 years now, and
yeah, they look like that.
I have shot it before, and I
Yes.
definitely think they work surprisingly very well. I was kind of shocked about it. I think it actually. I love iron sights on rifles, but I think if I got used to my own, it would be better. I would certainly shoot faster and hit more accurately with one. So
I
Well,
can tell you when red dots first came out, I don't know, it was like 8 years ago now, they started becoming mainstream. I was real hesitant. I'm like, I'm iron sights on the pistol all day. And then
pistols you're talking about?
just
red dots?
pistols, yeah, just pistols.
Yeah.
I transitioned and I put it on, and there is a big learning curve when you go from irons to red dot.
Yeah, it's very
You're
different.
basically you're relearning how to shoot, because now I have both my eyes open, because I was a one eye iron sight shooter. So now I'm shooting both eyes open, and then I'm having trouble finding the dot. And honestly, it's just repetition, like dry firing, just coming out, going up, coming out, going up. And once I got the hang of it, somebody gives me a gun with iron sights. I'm like, how do you shoot this? I don't.
I could shoot pistols well with iron sights anyways. Like I was mostly, except for my HK, I could do that one. But the Glocks are just, I hated Glocks because I could never figure out how to shoot them. I hate the sight picture on them. It's way too blocky.
It's probably
Hold on.
it's probably
I'll
the
be
grip
right
angle
back.
too.
I'm sure it is.
It's
I'm
probably
sure it's
the
1,000
grip
things I'm
angle on
doing
the
wrong. I'm not much of a shooter. I like guns, but not.
Pre-COVID, I liked shooting. COVID, not so much. When all the prices went up, I was like,
oh no, I can't go get that. But that's the way I solved the problem. Is so I can't shoot red dot in the division I do competition for. It's called TAC Ops. So you have to have iron sights on your shotgun, iron sights on your pistol, and then you can use I use a EOTech on my rifle with a magnifier, and that's the only one we can run red dots on. So it's not financially beneficial because then you have to buy another slide and quick change it out. It's just so I haven't gone there yet. But inherently the Glock sights suck. So there's a company I could show you that I got sights from. I actually won them as a door prize, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, they just need to slender them up a bit. It's just like, why is it all over the place? But I guess it's.
There's a company.
Yeah, I like
the cheap plastic ones they come with they're garbage. You got to switch them out for either some True Glows or some Trijicon night sights or something.
Oh,
I think that'll help a lot.
Oh yeah.
No,
like the
I don't have a
M&Ps,
Glock. I
those are
misspoke.
nice.
I never will buy one. I don't. I know it runs well and it's a good gun, but I just bitter about that. And there's so much better. I think I really like the HK, the Heckler Koch pistol.
HK makes great guns. I have a USP 9. It's a great gun.
I can't remember. I haven't looked at it in years. I honestly can't even remember. It was a kind of a newer one, but go ahead.
All right, I'll show you what I found works really well. So this company here, SX Sights, they have a big dot here, but their traditional sights are like this, where it has a V groove with a dot on it right there, and then the dot does it. So when you go out there, you dot the eye and line it up and just fire away right there. It's really very effective. They have traditional ones where you just line the dots up, but
no, I could see how that would work really nicely. Yeah.
You see like how it has the dot here, and then it has the one on the back with the white line that they're all luminant sights they work really good. Versus, I'll show you the other one.
And then you can buy it from our affiliates.
Yeah.
But not these. I don't think these are Amazon affiliate stuff.
Not that one, but you can get this one. Surgicon.
Hey Cody,
This one's pretty cool.
I'm going to be a hard out here soon. Sorry.
That's okay.
But you guys keep going.
This one this one has a white dot on the front. It's the same idea, but here. So you have these two dots on the back. Let's see if I can get this on the back of this. We have two dots on the back, and you put the single dot in the middle, and then the dots line up. That's your point of aim, point of hit. That's the way that Trigicon and a lot of people really like. For competitive shooting, the Essex, they came up with they patented the design where you have the dot you dot the eye, you just pull the trigger because it has a V notch, and you just boom. But I don't know. The problem I have now is I probably have to go to a red dot because I'm having trouble seeing the sights. So
yeah, I got to bounce.
A big advantage.
Steve, it was really nice meeting you, man.
Yeah, you as well.
Yeah, we'll have to talk again soon. So thanks for sharing about your experience. So it's very interesting. Thank you for your service. Keeping a lot of people safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. See you later, Colin. But I like you like the red dots. One of my another business I have over here we're working on is CW Guns and Gear. His son's a cop, and he said that he was involved in a shooting, and he was trying to, you're looking for the dot if you don't have enough training on it, and he didn't really like it.
Yeah, that is like I said, it's a big learning crutch when you first start to pick up that dot. But I think statistics, I haven't looked recently, but I looked a couple years ago, and at least in a law enforcement perspective, a red dot is a lot of things are getting resolved without shooting. And the reason for that is when you're using a red dot, you have both your eyes open and you get a full field of view of what's going on. So if somebody comes out, and they're presenting a threat, or they might be, the call, they have a gun or whatever, and I see the guy, I don't see the gun, I'm still going to have my gun out, right? But now if I'm pointing at him, I have one eye closed and I'm losing all that vision.
Depth perception.
We've all seen that classic. We've all seen the classic. The guy comes out with a cell phone and then he gets dumped, right? Well, it's resolving a lot of that because now I have both my eyes open, and when he comes out, I can pick that up like, oh, that's a cell phone. Whereas if I have one eye open and I'm looking at that, I'm thinking, okay, he's got a gun. The call said he had a gun. So I think it's resolving a lot of things without a shooting.
Because you have more, you have depth. You have depth, and then you have more side vision.
You just have more situational awareness, really.
Yeah.
Right. I'm getting the full view of from his feet to his head. Whereas if I'm one eye open, sights dialed in on the guy, I've only got that really
chest.
my front sight, right? Front sight, because your front sight focused on irons. So I think it's a really valuable tool, especially in law enforcement. I mean, most cops don't want to shoot somebody, right? We want to resolve the things peacefully. Nobody wants that on their conscience, whether it's justified or not. So if we can resolve things without getting into a shooting, that's the preferred method. So I think it's
Oh,
another tool for law enforcement to, effectively resolve those situations.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a big proponent of it. I try to convince everybody in law enforcement I talk to, switch to a red dot. Trust me. And thank me later. After the frustration wears off, you'll thank me.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I need to get your address. I have something I acquired for you. I think you'd like. We have to send you that. Go with your belt
There you go.
buckle.
Yeah, I got that belt buckle.
Yeah, lucky bastard. Oh, man. That was a cool belt buckle. So
Well, I'll put it in my will. If I go before you, you could have it.
So
at the
do you
rate
know
I'm
what
going,
COP stands for?
Well, I know where the abbreviation came from. So it's short for copper. And then the reason they called them coppers back in the day is because the badges were made out of copper.
Yeah, it's constable on patrol.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's another one. There you go.
Yeah.
I've never figured out what a constable is, but yeah.
Your cousin is one. Can't figure
But
that
in
out.
Texas,
They're like a officer of the court or something like that.
oh, yeah, because they have them in Texas. I've never.
Yeah, they do.
As I've gotten older, I've tried really hard to not have encounters with law enforcement. So I haven't looked. I don't want to look into it. When I was younger, that wasn't always my philosophy. So, but so what is your opinion of and I know of this homeless problem? Because when I went to Lancaster in I was out there in 22. Yeah, that's the last time I was out there. I I was born and spent a lot of time in Lancaster, and it's just like all the clover leaves that go on the highway, the center of that dirt plot there, especially was it Avenue J over there by the highway? It's just like homeless people everywhere. I never remember that kind of homeless problem when I lived there.
Yeah, the homeless problem's another troubled situation where I don't have all the answers, but a lot of it comes back to what we talked about earlier is the drug addiction, because
Yeah,
there are a plethora of resources for homeless people to get them off the street, to get them fed, to get them in a home, to get them treatment, and it is regularly offered to them through different, be the city, county, nonprofits, stuff like that. Like if you're legitimately homeless and you want off the street, there's resources for you. They can get you off the street. I think a big problem you see though is a lot of these people are drug addicted, and when you get these resources, you have to get off the drugs. That's part of the stipulation. Like
yeah,
we're not gonna put you in free housing to help you get back on your feet, but still let you smoke meth or heroin or fentanyl, whatever your drug of choice is. Like you have to get clean, and they don't want to get clean. So I think that's what the problem lies, but I don't know the solution to it. Of how do we got to find the solution to want these people to get off the drugs. And it's just ever since the decriminalization of drugs, it's just there's no punishment. There's no, I don't want to say punishment, but there's no incentive or there's nothing to hold them accountable to get them off the drugs. You know, they get
yeah.
picked up for drugs. It's a misdemeanor. They don't even go to jail. They get a ticket, right? And then they don't show up to court and they get a warrant. You finally take them to court and the judge goes, "You have a drug problem. You need help. Have a good day."
Well,
Yeah.
it's just the problem we have here in New Mexico is we did bail reform, where basically you get cashless bail for certain crimes. And a lot of the cops I talk to here, because we, go and shooting and stuff, we talk to a lot of cops, and they're saying the problem we have here, and I would imagine is similar to California now, is it's just this recurring. They're like before they're out on the street before the paperwork's filed. They go and there's just a revolving door, and it's like
Yeah.
you can't convince the people to pass legislation to slow that down or make it stiffer. It's like I call it the hug a thug. It's like why they're more they're it's just frustrates me because it seems like there's more interest in criminal rights than there are in victim rights. It's just
Yeah, I mean, that's one point of view to it. I think it's just there's been such a big push on not holding people accountable for their actions, right?
Mhm.
Um, and obviously there's different tiers to different crimes, right? Like you steal a Snickers bar from Walgreens, you don't need to go to jail for 3 years, right? But you have to have some kind of punishment, whether you spend 6 months in jail or you're on probation for 3 years. But it's just kind of now it's kind of like they see it as like a disease where the people need treatment, which might be the case in some case, but other cases, these guys are just that's their careers. They're a criminal, you know,
Well,
and
it,
you
the
can't
interest.
reform those people. That's what I was looking for. The word I was looking for is reform. They want to
Hmm.
reform everybody, and it's like that works sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't. So what do you do with the people it doesn't work for? They don't want to be reformed. We can't just keep putting them in that category of, oh, well, they need to be reformed. Well, we've tried that. It doesn't work. They've been arrested for burglary 7 times. They're not being reformed. They need to go to
Yeah.
prison for a lengthy amount of time and think about their actions.
Well,
Yep. And I have a guy that I know that's a ex police officer here, and he took his girls, and they're like, "Why is that guy homeless?" He goes, "Oh, let's go see." So he pulls over and he goes, "Here's, I think it was $20." He was like, "Okay, tell my daughters why you're homeless." And he goes, "If you lie, you don't get the $20." And the guy goes, "I want drugs. That's what I want."
That's
There you go.
that's the answer
And
you'll
so they
get
mhm.
from
had
most
this
people.
yeah, they had this other idea taught by teachers and all that kind of stuff because they are unfairly this and that. And I think
Mhm.
there's a minority of that are. Yet he's like pulling over and he goes, "Hey, speak your truth. Don't lie." And he did.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
that would be my opinion too of most of the people that don't accept the resources. I mean, if you're legitimately homeless, like if I lost everything today, like I know there would be a place I could take my family to help me get back on my feet. Right? There's all kinds of shelters.
Hmm.
Ever since COVID, they bought out a bunch of these hotels that are
Mm,
basically unhoused for people unhoused. You get a voucher and you can stay there for however long it takes you to get back on your feet. Right? You can't do drugs.
And that's the new
That's the
term,
caveat.
unhoused.
Yeah, unhoused individuals, and it's like,
well, yeah,
And
they
we
have
don't want
to.
to. And the crazy thing is, they don't want us to use homeless. Yet the homeless people on their signs all say homeless. Like, I guess they
homeless.
didn't quite get to the unhoused part. Yeah.
I don't know the
Well, it's
solution
trying.
to it, and there's a lot of. I think there's another incentive to have a homeless crisis, in the sense of that there's a lot of money thrown at the homeless problem, and the amount of money thrown at the homeless problem, you're not getting the results you would expect from that amount of money. So I feel like there's a little bit of an incentive structure to keep a homeless crisis going, so you can keep those funds coming to these nonprofits or whatever organization is for the
And those
homeless.
nonprofits support other people's families and stuff like that, but they're also making a ton of money by doing
Mhm.
this. And it's a get rich scheme, and it's working.
Yeah,
It's not helping the problem or anything like that, but hundreds of millions of dollars into it. All these nonprofits are trying to get their piece.
yeah.
They're
It's like the
not
city of
stupid.
LA. I can't remember the dollar amount, but it was multi-million-dollar amount, and they built like
Mhm.
20 housing units, and they're not even real houses. They're like, converted storage containers or whatever. And that took 30 million to make 20 of those. So
I could
I
do
think there's a
that
little bit
for
of an incentive structure to
Yeah.
keep a homeless crisis going.
On both
But I mean,
sides.
on both sides. So I think there's a solution, and I think my opinion is if you want to be in that sphere, you get money for the people you successfully house. Not
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you 100 million and you tell me you're going to make 100 beds. Like, if you give me 100 beds, I'll give you the 100 million. But if you only make 10 beds, you're getting 5 million or whatever.
Yeah.
Pay for what you
well,
get, not what you promise to give.
well, it's the same thing here with the like I've brought this up in the past. You know, we have a problem with New Mexico because of our climate here. We should really have concrete highways, but we have asphalt highways. And the reason we have asphalt highways is because, well, if we put concrete highways in and we only have to rebuild the road every 15 to 20 years, what's my cousin going to do? He needs a job.
Mhm.
The other problem that I remember when my dad was doing building houses out there is the regulatory hurdles to get that done. It's like you got to go through. When the Pacific Palisades burnt down, I was talking to people out here. They'll have to start rebuilding the houses in what 5-6 months. I'm like, try like 2 to 3 years before they can get that permit done. The soils, the uh, you know, do you have enough trees? Do you have enough? It's just you could
Yeah.
go infinitum, and it's just and everyone has to get their piece of pie. And it was getting to a point when up in San Luis Obispo County where the permits cost more than it did to build the damn house.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think they
They'll
were
tax
saying
you on whatever they can.
what the only difference is Pacific Palisades. Those houses, what are they going for? A couple mil now? So
Well, I mean, the dirt lot is, because there's nothing left. That fire ripped through everything.
well, yeah, but if
That
they were houses, that's a $2-3
Couple mil.
million house.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So if you're gonna, according to LA, the city of LA, if you're gonna spending $250,000 for permits for a several $1 million house, it balances out. But I think the first thing that blew me away is when I did a building project on my house up in Rio Rancho. We put solar panels on the roof, and we submitted the permit and gave them all the information they needed on a Monday. And I'm like, okay, we'll see you in a couple months. And we had the permits approved and everything, all we needed to do by, I think, Wednesday. We were done with
Nice.
that. My dad had a shop built in his backyard. I think it took him about a month to get all the permits pulled and did that. And we were just blown away. I think it's what he was saying, maybe a month, where it would take years to get a permit pulled in California because of the regulation. It's just,
Yeah. It's a lot of it's regulatory heavy over here for sure. Um, Supposedly they're easing a lot of these regulations. I don't know how true that is. I mean, I don't have any property up there, so I couldn't tell you. But you hear both sides that they're stalling, and then some people are saying, "No, we've streamlined the permits." What's true, what's not, I don't know.
Well, you don't see the houses built.
I don't see the houses built.
That's the telltale sign. When the houses start being built, you're like, oh, they're moving forward. If not,
Yeah. Well, it's
what's
like Hawaii,
fun.
right? Lahaina, when Lahaina burnt down, or
Mhm.
that was what 2-3 years ago.
Mhm.
Are they building over there yet?
No.
And then you got FEMA giving them what, $500 or something like that. It's great. I get groceries for a week in Hawaii for that.
Gross, Hawaii, and I think I remember the one thing that blew me away when I lived in Alaska was paying $8 a gallon for milk. I'm like, dude.
I think the last time I was there, avocados were like $12
In Hawaii?
per avocado. Yeah.
Oh. The one thing that they eat there that I just cannot wrap my mind around is spam. I just
Oh,
can't.
dude, fried spam's good.
Oh,
Have you ever
God.
been to the one in Minnesota? Yeah, I think it's outside of the Twin Cities. It's the official spam factory, and you can walk through and see how they made it and with the GIs and all that kind of stuff. Did you guys ever hear about that?
No,
Oh, I went to that years ago when I was an intern youth pastor. I went through that thing. Oh, it was amazing. I didn't have any, but I'm like,
you probably wouldn't after you've seen how it's made.
yes. And then you get to see how it affected the GIs and and all that kind of stuff, how they fed them through it, because
Yeah.
that there's no end of that shelf life. They'll last
Yeah.
forever.
No, yeah,
Of course, when they died, their bodies didn't decompose either, too. Yeah,
I believe that.
yeah,
Is it?
that was
Is
in
it?
the clip.
Isn't? I've heard that spam is lips and assholes. Isn't that what they make it out of? Everything left over that no one wants to eat.
It's pretty much.
Mhm.
Yeah, because
But
it's
if you fry it
for
up in some butter, it's pretty good.
everything's better with butter.
Real butter.
Yeah, real
Yeah.
butter.
Yeah.
Oh, so let's talk about that. So,
real butter
the-
or
the diet.
spam museum in Austin, Minnesota.
Spam.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. Pork with salt. Man, I don't know. I just when anything that you pull out of a can and it goes slip, it looks like cat food, like something like I think that's the reason I don't like cranberry sauces. It's like that comes out in that log.
Yeah.
Just maybe that's why I don't like it is the way it's presented. But I did win a prize one time at a spam booth because everyone knew what state was the first most consumed the most spam with Hawaii. Oh,
That didn't work.
that's not good.
But yeah, spam factory in Austin, Minnesota. So if you ever go to Austin, Minnesota, check out the spam factory, the spam museum.
And because it's in Minnesota, the Leering Center will be right next door. Don't worry. So,
If you like
That is-
fishing,
that was great. It says the Leering Center on that place in Minneapolis. That was great, Leering Center. But part of the thing, what really intrigued me is that we were talking, and you had found this kind of through your own trial and error. It sounded like your diet through eating, and I kind of found the same thing. I got up to around 290 pounds, and then we had this interview with Ian Burlingame, and I went to what they call Nordic diet. And then I did he was talking about a lot of ways after we got off the interview of how to deal with PTSD. And I just started implementing everything he told me to tell my brother. I go rucking now. I have a 13-pound, LT, the bulletproof vest they issued you in the first part of the war. The what's it? LBT 68. Yeah.
LVB or whatever.
LTB 1694, I think is the designation. Yeah. So I put, it looks funny walking around. It feels weird walking around at 4:00 in the morning with body armor on, walking around Las Cruces.
I'm sure your neighbors think the same thing, but it's all good.
Oh, they've lived next to me long enough. They figured it out. But, but no, I started wearing weights and hiking, and I also started watching. I was eating. I stopped eating vegetable oils. Changed to beef tallow. When I cook a lot in beef tallow or olive oil. If we can't do beef tallow, and it's really helped my digestive tract out. And when I was talking to you a couple of weeks ago, that you had come across the same concept.
Yeah. So basically, how I came about it is after me and my wife had our first kid, James, I put on a lot of weight. I got up to probably close to 240.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even realize it. I took some FMLA from work. It took about 2 months, and then got back to work, put that duty belt on, and it was tight. Had to loosen it a little bit. So I was like, yeah, this isn't right. So I started researching different diets, like the keto. The problem with keto for me is it it did sit right in my stomach, right? When it's just all fats and meats and
Mm-hmm.
just, not saying it works for some people. It didn't work for me.
Yeah.
So I started checked into the paleo diet, and I tried that, and that's what really worked for me.
It's
Which
paleo.
is
Okay.
just yeah, paleo, caveman diet, however you want to call it. But essentially it's nothing. It's what the caveman ate, right? It's nothing processed, no man-made foods or foods that hadn't been discovered then, like rices and stuff like that. Beans, none of that. It was just meat, fruits, vegetables, and nuts and dairy. And I went on that, and I started losing weight. Got down to about 215-ish, I would say, and I felt great. I felt really great. Um, a lot of inflammation went down, had energy.
Yeah.
And another big thing too is I cut out sugars, because I'm a sucker for some gummy worms.
Damn right. Well, your mom
Yeah,
did make worms and dirt, and you were really
yeah,
young. She introduced it into your life.
yeah. I'm a sucker for some gummy worms.
Dude, his mom would get what is it, like chocolate chip ice cream, and she would like place these gummy worms into it, and then
Mhm.
she would get Oreos
It's
and
like
crunch them up
Oreos. Yeah,
and put them over the top, and then slice it up like a cake. And it was that's when you realize that we did not have money when we were kids.
yeah. Well, the Bakeables too. We're not known for our slim physiques.
No, we're big guys.
Yeah.
Um,
So, and then I learned that lesson from my dad too, because my dad was a big guy, and a lot of his health problems stemmed from his weight. Um,
mm-hmm.
and so it's funny how you learn from your parents too, even the bad things, or not the bad things, but the things not to do. Um, so I took my health seriously. I still take it seriously to this day. I'm not on the paleo diet anymore. I've kind of incorporated more rices and stuff like that now, and I do have kids, so I'm not a stranger to some McDonald's every now and then. But I do feel it. I do feel it when I have it.
Oh yeah. I think the other day I went and got a Big Mac, and man, I felt sluggish the rest of the day. Went and got
Yeah,
that.
it's funny because when I was doing paleo, I was pretty strict for, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. I was like, you know what, dude, I'll have some ice cream with the kids or whatever. I had a bowl of ice cream, and it did not taste good. And
Mm.
it's when you cut out sugar for so long and then you go back to it, it doesn't taste good. Um, it comes back, unfortunately, after some time. But
Oh,
Because
I'm
of the
not worried
gummy
about
worms.
yeah, working
my.
nights, the snacks come in. So
Well, the problem I have is Dr. Pepper. I've always liked Dr. Pepper. So,
yeah,
but no, it's just interesting how
Coke Zero is my crutch now.
you really
Oh, I
like
get.
that.
I do.
It's
Yeah,
better than diet. A whole lot better.
yeah,
Better
it tastes way better
taste. Yeah. Yeah.
because diet gives you that that
Asper-
aftertaste.
Yeah, it's from the aspartame. It just kind of, yeah,
Yeah.
brings back the regular Coke taste to it, but without the sugar.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. There is a limit to what you can drink though, because it'll mess up your stomach. So
Well,
about 2 cans a day is about my limit.
well, I just by changing I lower I have an app on my phone now that helps me monitor how much I intake. Try to keep it around like 300 calories a meal. You take a picture and it analyzes the food and tells you how much you can eat of it. So
Oh, nice.
keep it down to around. I keep it down to around 2,000 calories a day, 2,200 at most. And then I do try to do like rye bread, sourdough.
Mhm.
I don't. I try to remove a lot of wheat, and it got a lot of the gas problem I had went away. I also drink A2 milk, A2 milk, because it's a different protein, and that really helped my stomach out a lot because you're kind of like rebuilding your gut biome, and it. Yeah,
Pretty
wish
good.
I would have learned that about 10 years ago. So
Yeah. Yeah. I try to be on top of my health. Just knowing our family history and stuff, we on both my mom and dad's side, it's just there's health problems, and I'm trying to prevent those as long as I can.
yeah,
And plus, I'm pretty active. I stay in the gym a lot. I'm in the gym at least 5 days a week. Um, you know, so I just try to work through injuries and stuff like that. I've taken some peptides. Those are pretty good.
I've never done
In
that.
my
What are
opinion.
peptides? What is that?
So they're like, so I've used BPC 157 for some injuries. I'm pretty banged up. I got a torn labrum in my shoulder, torn labrum in my hip, stuff like that. And so the BPC 157s, it's an amino acid that is naturally produced in your gut. And they believe that it has a regenerative effect because, your gut's always regenerating.
Mm-hmm.
And they believe that might be the key to it. And so they were able to take that and make it. And in animal studies, it has helped injuries,
What's
ligaments, tissue, muscles, stuff like that. And so I've taken it a few times for some injuries. And I mean, it could be placebo. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Full disclosure, I'm not a medical expert. But my personal experience is it's helped me with some injuries.
Yeah,
what was it called again? I'll
It
write
says
that down.
BPC 157.
you're gonna have to slow that down. Look at him.
BPC
Oh, Bravo Papa Charlie.
157.
Corey, I don't like you right now.
Yeah, but am I right?
Let's not
And
clutter
if you listen to
let's not clutter this conversation with facts, okay?
Just helping a brother out, man. Just helping a brother out.
Sorry.
if you talk to or if you don't talk to, but if you listen to Bobby Kennedy, he's in the
Yeah.
process of trying to get these back into the pharmacies because they were produced in pharmacies and then they took them away for some reason. So he's in the process of getting them back into like compounding pharmacies to be prescribed again because they do work. They do work. So hopefully he gets that through
Yeah.
amongst his other things.
Because he's used them himself.
Yes, he has.
Yeah.
He has. So
Dude,
he's
that
doing a lot
guy,
of good things over there. So
that dude's in his 70s and he is ripped. It is crazy.
mm-hmm.
It
Yeah,
is
he's
interesting. It is interesting how he's been such an environmental lobbyist for 20 years and all of a sudden now they can't stand him.
well,
I've been reading a lot of his stuff on research on his autism because of my daughter, and he has a lot of points that if I would have known before she was born, I probably wouldn't have taken some of the steps that we did. So
yeah. Hopefully he can get that worked out because Like I was listening to him the other day talk. I forget whose podcast he was on, but he was talking about the numbers of the autism rate and stuff like that. And it's just there's something going on that we're doing that is driving these rates up,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
need to figure that out, and they need to fix it. You know, whether it's the food dyes or Tylenol while you're pregnant. That's probably what happened to me. I don't know. Um, sorry,
Probably.
mom, if you watch this.
Oh, I have
But
to
yeah, there's a
recant.
lot of
I did some looking into it. Your mom didn't send me that meme. That was one of my mom's friends sent me that meme. So I messed that up. Recant my previous statement. Your mom will kill me.
yeah. Well, I don't know. She'd probably find it funny, to be honest.
Your mom's sense of humor is awesome.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it is. That was pretty interesting. All the commonalities of the tracks we've gone down and come to similar conclusions. Yeah, even though we're 700 miles away from each other, that was what I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
Then it just goes to show that genetics have a lot to play into that, I would guess, or would imagine. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like another thing I've done is, I went on hormone replacement probably 6, 7 years ago at this point. And that's another thing that they need to really get into because that improved my quality of life dramatically. Like when I got my testosterone checked then, I was in the low 300s and I was 20, what was it, 27, 28 at the time.
wow.
And,
That's young.
and I was having a lot of the side effects of low testosterone and couldn't figure it out, tired all the time, all the other stuff that comes with it. And, I got prescribed hormone replacement therapy and the quality of life changed drastically, but there's such a stigma on that, on these, I guess, unorthodox medical approaches, I guess you could say, that really need to be looked at, you know? Like one, why is, 28-year-old's testosterone that low at this age?
Yeah.
And two, how do you fix the quality of life? Because it's really a quality of life thing, Because I mean, I could still be at those levels and still, be alive, but the fatigue and all that other stuff. So yeah, I mean, I've taken a real interest in my health and just trying to look at these. COVID really opened my eyes to traditional medicine too. Where it just, through my own research, it just seems like any health condition you get, they're like, here's a pill, take it for life. And it's like, well, my cholesterol's high. How do I get it down? I don't want to take this pill for the rest of my life. Like, is there something else I can do besides take this pill, Or like diabetes, for example, a lot of, you know, these diabetes are weight related and stuff like that. I mean, obviously there's genetic component to some of it, but a lot of it is weight related. And just here's insulin. How about we talk about getting the weight down, or doing, like my dad, for example, I speak to him. He had diabetes and he went on, essentially it was the keto diet. It wasn't keto back then because it was mainstream, but essentially his doctor put him on the keto diet and he reversed his diabetes. He got completely off insulin and metformin and all that stuff. So it's like, it just seems like the mainstream medical to me is let's find a pill to keep you on there for life. Here's a pill. Oh, that's wrong. Take this pill.
Well, I
It's like,
think the solution to medical is very similar to the solution with a lot of the crime we're having. There has to be, you can't go too much one way or too much the other. You have to find middle ground. You can't go too much. There's a lot to be said for traditional medicine and traditional remedies, and you combine that with modern science. You meet in the middle, then you can come up with some really good outcomes. Um, you come up with law enforcement. You can't imprison the whole population, and you can't let there be no penalties. You got to come to the middle. We got to help these people, but we also have to have a penalty. So you got to find a middle ground. Is what I've been coming to the realization. Because
Yeah, I would agree with that, especially in the medical sense, because like I'm by no means against the medical profession and all that stuff. I just think the way it's been sold is it's instead of finding the fix to the problem of what's causing the problem, they're just giving you the Band-Aid, right? And so, like you said, like we need to medicine always evolved, right? They're always finding new stuff. Like for example, we talked about the psilocybin and PTSD and stuff like that, or
Mhm.
the psychedelics, not psilocybin alone, but the different psychedelics and how it's coming out that there might be some benefit to this, but it just seems like traditional medicine is more like, well, what does big pharma say, right? Can they make a pill for that? It's like, well, how about we find some like holistic approaches? I'm not saying take vitamin C and all your problems will go away. Yeah, there's times when you need to take medicine. You get a staph infection. Yeah, give me some antibiotics,
Give me some penicillin. Yeah.
right? But if if my cholesterol is high, like, is there a way I can do this without being on a statin for the rest of my life? Which
But that's
comes with its own set of problems, right?
well, that's the thing too. Is before I started changing my diet, my doctor was getting real worried. I was getting my labs drawn every 6 months to really track it, and I started eating no vegetable oils and doing all the stuff I was talking about, and my cholesterol's way down, my blood pressure, I was getting up to like one in the 140s over the over 90 over higher.
Uh-huh.
And I started doing that. My blood pressure's down to like 121 over 70, 121 over, or one, well, yeah, this morning is 115 over 60. So my blood pressure's going down. It's just, it's because I'm a mechanic, it's always trial and error, trying to find the root cause. It's the biggest thing they taught me about in school is just, if this is causing it, pull back and see what the outcome is. Diagnostics, and yeah.
I think that's a case to be had for medicine, right? And not every person's the same, right?
Mhm.
But it seems like you go in with a problem and it's like they have this, oh, high blood pressure, okay, take this pill, right?
They
Or
add
take this.
two,
What's
whatever you
that?
have. They add two. So you
Yeah.
come in with these 3 pills, you come out with 8 more pills, and then you
Hmm.
go back because you're having all these other side effects. Then they add more pills. No one
That's
takes
it.
things off.
My
And not.
my buddy Philip, uh, we get together once a year. He was a trucking friend of mine, and now he's retired, medically retired, because he was in the army for 14 years, and he's all beat up. We went out to Fort Stockton last year, and he comes out with this bag like that big, and I'm like, "What's that?" And he's like, "That's all the pills I take every day." I'm like, "What?" How? He has like 12 prescriptions. Then he has prescriptions to counteract prescriptions. It's like,
And
I
so I
take.
work
Yeah.
hospice, right?
Mhm.
As a hospice chaplain. I sit in meetings where you have the doctor, the nurse, social worker, and I sit and talk about clients. And these doctors, bring people on and they take off almost all the medication, just comfort, just a few things. And all of a sudden, there's quite a few of them that bounce back and they graduate and they come off and they live healthy and happier lives. And it's like,
Hmm.
what's going on? And they're like, yeah, well, when one doctor prescribes, then you go to another doctor and that doctor prescribes, they're not looking at the interactions. They're just prescribing. And so you
Hmm.
have a boatload of these things. But if you can get someone that can take you off all the stuff and recalibrate and see what really is going on, what you really need, that's when you thrive.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a place for the different medicines and stuff, but like you're saying, it's like, I go to the podiatrist, my foot hurts. Oh, here, take this painkiller. I go to the cardiologist, like, oh, here, you need this statin. I go to my GP and he's like, oh, you got headaches, take this pill. And it's just like, can we find out what's causing the problem? Maybe the
Well,
problem doesn't require the pill. That's fine. But how about we, let's address the root cause first before we start putting band-aids on things.
So I
well
went
that
in
that
to get my nasal fixed because I got sinus problems. Allergic to everything that grows. I was living in Missouri at the
He's
time. They
allergic to everything but his camel.
go to the desert, and you'll be allergic to less. And I was like, all right, came here. There's other things here. And so what they wanted to do at this sinus place is stick this thing up my nose and then balloon it and singe it. And they would have to do that every couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a fix. It's just they're making money off of it. Yeah.
Yep.
And it sucks. I had it done once. And it's not fun.
Oh, so
No, that doesn't sound fun.
No.
Well, what's interesting is I was just thinking about that. I was having problems with headaches and changing my diet. I don't have headaches anymore. Losing 30 pounds, I don't have headaches anymore. My knees don't hurt. A lot of my problems is diet related. So now it makes you go, it's kind of like a compounding thing. You're like, okay, this is this, and now I'm going to keep going because I want to get feeling good again. It's like, but I think that's the problem is I've been working on this for 10 weeks to get to this point, and people want to feel it tomorrow. They don't want to feel it in 10 weeks from now.
They don't want to put the work into it.
Because the pill can take care of it all.
Yep.
That pill. Mm-hmm.
Then it gives you diarrhea, and then you got to take, Imodium, and then you can't, and then you're constipated, so then you got to take milk magnesia, and then, now you have diarrhea, take double Imodium.
Yep. Your body's like, whoa.
What do we do?
Your gut biome is just gone. It's all wiped out.
Yeah.
All that because I had a headache.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that reminds me of my grandmother. She would, Grandma Bakewell. You lived with her, so you know.
Yeah.
She had a pharmacy in her purse. I remember one time I had a headache and she gave me this pill, and I think I woke up like 7 hours later. I'm like, what did you give me? And she's like, I take 2 of those and go drive a car. I'm like,
sounds like grandma.
It's nothing like your grandma telling you you're a pussy. You're like, you're a weakling. You gotta. She was a total my grandfather was the guy at the hospital that worked with all the pharmaceutical reps, so he would order all the medications when he was working down at Antelope Valley Hospital, and he got a lot of free samples. So come to find out, that's what caused his liver failure. He died from liver failure from all the stuff they were ingesting. That, and he had bad diabetes because he ate everything. He had a really penchant for a seafood diet, and
you see it, you eat it.
See it, and you eat it.
Yeah.
And living through that experience with my grandmother coming over to my house when Steven's family would get tired of her.
She needed to visit the rest of the family.
Share the wealth, baby. Share the wealth. I think, and I witness all that, and I am so anti. If I'd rather feel pain than take a painkiller.
And I went to the urgent care. I don't know. This was 4 or 5 years ago. I had a back spasm. I was working on my car, and my back locked up.
Oh yeah.
They prescribed me Flexerol, a muscle relaxer. I have never slept so long in my life off of one of those pills. I woke up and I said, throw them things away. I'll never take those again. Just give me some ibuprofen, give me a couple Army M&Ms and some water, and I'll be all right.
Army M&Ms, yeah.
Yep.
What's funny is I found out I started having better effects from ibuprofen by taking less of a dose than by taking more.
Yes.
I cut my dosage from like 4 of the pills to 2, and it became more effective.
So you're taking the appropriate dose now?
What's funny is, you know, how I found that out is off of Grok. AI is like, you're taking the wrong dosage for someone in your age category.
AI is telling you to do that.
Oh
Man,
man.
well, it's been it's almost 2.25 hours, so we've taken quite a bit of your time, and it's been very entertaining. So we'll have to definitely we'll have to have you come back if that's cool.
First, want to
Yeah,
check out that
definitely.
2011.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Just tell Cody to buy one, and then
Yeah. Come on, Cody.
go out, shoot
Well,
it.
here's what we need to do if we want to get we
If
want to get a 20. Well, I'm just saying, as a group here, if we want Cody to get a new 2011, well, you guys need to go out and subscribe to my Patreon and start going to my my shirt my apparel store. And if you could do that, we could figure out how to get Cody a 2011. So look for the links in the description at the bottom.
for that for Cody to get his 2011, or just buy
Whatever
one.
helps you spend the money, I don't care. So, but no, seriously, there's the description will be in there. If you want to help us, we're at what? 3, we're at 5 Patreon subscribers, and when we get to 10, we're giving away a free t-shirt. So, because then we can afford them. So, but it's been very fun. I appreciate the conversation. It went down some cool rabbit holes, I think.
Yeah, and tell
Yeah,
your family
definitely.
to subscribe and jump on that Patreon too, because Cody
Yeah.
keeps saying how big his family is, but he really doesn't prove it.
Well,
Let's
I
see.
mean, this is breaking news, but Cody was adopted, so
Oh,
I
I'm
knew
just
it.
kidding.
now it makes sense.
I asked my dad one time if I was adopted, and he says if I could trade you in, I would have. No, they won't let me give you back. So, yeah, I
One
was.
trade.
Yeah, they won't let. If you're adopted, you can return. There's a return policy. So, yeah. So on that note, we're gonna
That messed up note.
yeah, we're gonna call it a night. Thank you guys if you got this far. We really appreciate you watching our podcast, and if you enjoyed the conversation, leave some questions down in the comments, and we'll have my cousin come back on, and not just
Definitely.
the other cousin that's always on. So, all right, guys, thank you very much.
All right.